I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's second down. And in this offense, the shifty Lamar Miller sometimes sets the table.
And he's at his best when the number of carries for him approaches 20. Wears down defenses with his speed.
Sheds and Lamar Miller, the 40, 30, 10, touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 72 yards, and the Texans have taken the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Foles. This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
Going deep for Hopkins. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for. Now it's Watson, 3rd down here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guy.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead now stands at 13. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now Foles. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Marquise Lee, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Foles. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And now out comes Houston. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 77 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They'll run with Miller, and he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns, and the Texans will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston. And well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, try to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. The third down run gets him nothing. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. He won't go down. Lamar Miller. He's at the 40. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 78 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our...
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Fells has it, left side. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll wind up with 7 on the dump-off, but it'll set up 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back now in Houston. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They begin with a run by Miller. Able to power through. Oh, fighting off the defender. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just...
Lamar Miller, the 30, the 20, 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. That was a pretty impressive touchdown play. Those broken tackles, those weren't easy to get by.
No, they really weren't. And they've had trouble tackling throughout this ball game. But on this particular play, how about that move? Or I should say moves with an S. Because I don't care if you're a great tackler, you had trouble getting him on the ground on that play.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Completes it to Lee. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Foles. Lee's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 2nd and goal, Foles. This will be caught at about the 5. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
Well, when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance. That's for darn sure.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
55. Check, 55. Mike. Exit.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. He's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all, but the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.